Hello. The weather has held, so it's off to Ireland I go. Departure is tomorrow at about 10. Half a teaspoon, quarter of a teaspoon of salt. I have completed my departure forms online. I'm cooking my massive pollocks in here, so I'm going to need to give this batter some flavour, because pollock is probably one of the most characterless, flavourless, textureless fish I've ever eaten. Beggars can't be choosers. Some pepper with these useless Waitrose grinders for salt and pepper. They're absolutely useless. I don't know what I've got to do to make them actually spit some pepper out. It's not an adjustment. I don't know what it is. But baking powder, not bicarbonate of soda. You want a good one of those? Let's go with a heaped teaspoon like that. I don't have any self-raising flour, so I've got just strong white flour, which is not ideal. But what I'll end up with, 1, 2, very heaped, these are very heaped, 3, 4. Now what I'll end up with is a slightly thinner, crispier batter. I'll be using Tribute. This is going to be amazing. Now, you see how rough and ready I was with the measurements there. What I'm looking for really is the right consistency. There is, I mean, you can measure it out and be really type A about it, which, you know. If I had a scales and I wasn't on a boat, I would measure it out. But I'm on a boat and I don't, so that's too thick. Oh, it smells good though. Here are my massive pollocks, or at least what's left of them. I ate half of this yesterday. This is what's left. Look at the size of it, look, it's huge. I'm just going to pat that dry. Shall I? I shall. I'm just going to pat it dry a little bit because I want the flour to stick. But now with this fish, this is so fresh that it was still twitching when I was skinning it, you know. I washed it in salt water, in seawater first. Then I left it in some fresh water for about 5 minutes and rinsed it off twice. But all that does is it just keeps the flavour a bit fresher, I think. It just keeps the flavour a bit fresher. You know, you do whatever you want to do. Cheers. Let's put the thick bit in first, and when I say thick, that bad boy is thick. Just drench that through the batter. Want it to stick as possible. There we go. Drop it straight in there. When I say drop, I don't mean drop, you know what I mean? That one actually dropped. I don't like that at all. There you go. I'm not sure I've got the batter right, what do you think? Yeah. All right. Let's dinner then. See if we've got any actual texture there. Oh, yeah, we've definitely got flaky in there. Oh my God! Look at that! Look at it! If you'll excuse me, I'll still be very hot. I can't wait anymore. That batter is good, you know. That works. And it's crunchy. The fish does seem to have retained some of its flake, but it's not fleshy like bass or mackerel, you know. It's like meat, isn't it? But not pollock. not too shabby. Well, let's give it a go. I am going to give it a go. St Martin's Bay on the Isles of Scilly, Ireland.
Good morning. You're loud, clear with a little carrier wave background interference only.
Nice full of lessons, isn't it, eh? This is the third time I've tried to get to Ireland. The third time. And I'm just about to lose my shit with it. We're sat out here in, never mind predict wind, you know. We're sat out here in almost no wind. Nothing's happening. We've been at sea for nearly an hour. 2 miles we've covered almost. By the time we've done an hour, we'll have covered 2 miles. I don't have enough fuel to motor all the way to Ireland. Even if the tank was full and both the reserves were full, there still wouldn't be enough, really. Or would there? Maybe. I don't want to do that. I don't want to motor to Ireland. That's bloody miserable, isn't it? ETA currently is saying 12 days, 14 days. The thing is, this is my only slot really to do it. And it's looking like the weather on Friday is really coming in. Like a proper gale. Which means, what that means is, because it's Monday, or Sunday actually now, I'd get there on Monday, if I get there. That means that I'll get there, have 2 days of relative peace, and then I'll have to whistle home on Thursday. Quick, sharp, so that I don't get caught in that gale on Friday, approaching the Scilly Isles and Land's End, you know. That's to be avoided if at all possible. You know, I'm going to sit this out until we're at the point of where I've got to decide whether I'm just going to go back. So another couple of hours probably. I'll sit this out for a couple of hours. If we don't start making some progress, because 1.5 knots is not going to do it, then I'm going to have to give it up, aren't I? Which is deeply annoying, but it is what it is. I can't. I'm doing the best I can. I can't make the wind. The forecast was for sort of 10-12 knots really, and from a different direction. So let's just give it a bit of time. Let's see if it fills in a bit. It's just really tedious and boring doing this. All right, it's 11:15. We've done terribly, frankly. We're still at the Scilly Isles pretty much. Alright, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the tide round to St Mary's and fill up. That's what I'm going to do. It's Sunday, no fuel, of course. Why didn't I think of that? It's a Sunday, so I can't get fuel today. I went in there, I tied up, I had a chase around, there's nobody there. Because it's Sunday, of course. Oh, so I'm going to spend the night at anchor here. I'm going to fuel up in the morning, then I'm going to recheck the weather. If that howling northwesterly, westerly really, if that's still coming through on Friday, I think it's off. Because it'll take me till, if I leave tomorrow morning, it'll take me till Tuesday night probably to get there. Yeah. I'll then have Wednesday, because I've lost a day now. Wednesday there. And then I'll have to skate back again, depending on the weather. So I think really now it depends on a weather check tomorrow. In the meantime, my engine is not pumping out enough coolant. I'm going to change the impeller whilst I'm sat here doing nothing. And see if that helps. That's what I'm going to do. Not a bad place to do engine work though, is it? Look at it. Lovely. Gotta be honest, it doesn't look too bad. However, it has taken a bit of a set. That won't be helping. Quick update then. I've removed the pump completely, and the reason that I've done that is because in the spare impeller box, it turns out it's not just a spare impeller, it's got the water seals and oil seals in there as well. So I may as well, if I can, so that's an O-ring that goes there, that's between the pump and the engine, the two seals, the O-ring that goes on the faceplate for the impeller, a new impeller, a new gasket. And I also have some Held-Tight in the cupboard there, which is what I use to help seal all this. So, we should be ready now to put this together. Right, keep an eye on it for me, would you? Seacocks open. Oh yeah. Oh, that actually looks a little bit healthier, to be honest. It definitely does. Alright, well. You know what, it sounds nicer, and there's definitely more throughput there. Good news, that's good news. Not a bad place to get to. Stuck, is it? This is St Mary's. Just tucked away, actually. St Mary's is over there. That's the harbour. Yeah, just a little inlet. Anchorage up here. And not too rolly this time. The last time I was here it was horrendous with Kriana, actually. The first time I came to the Scillies. So what is that now? 6 years ago? 6 years ago. Just me and her when she was 4. Unbelievable. Anyway, we came here, we anchored. It was absolutely unbelievable. Ear to ear, all night, ear to ear. And we never came back here. It's not bad today. Not bad today. It's a very nice experience, very friendly guy over there. I've now got more fuel than I could possibly hope to get. Probably hope to need, rather. And spare fuel as well. So it's decision time. I'm going to stow all this and then I'm going to decide what I'm doing. and this is pretty much typical of the sort of weather that we've had to deal with this summer. I'm always very reluctant to slag off the summer weather, you know, because everyone always does it, and actually usually summer's pretty good. To be fair, it usually is. This year has been very strange. We've had, you know, a succession of howling gales, then weeks of pouring rain. This morning, you know, I had a vague plan with my mate Bob over there to just do a little day sail somewhere. Thick fog. I'm not going anywhere in this. And equally, because of the weather, I was expecting to wake up in Ireland a week ago. Just couldn't get there. Interestingly though, this year there's been no gear failure whatsoever. Nothing's broken or fallen off. It's funny how you get to that point with boats. When you first get your boat, every season something breaks, and then you get to a point where all those things that are going to break have broken, and you've fixed them. It's hard to know when, but you find you'll do a season sailing and nothing will fall off, and you'll realise that you've probably just about cracked it with that particular boat. Anyway, see you next time.